Hi, Mike. Good morning in
Hello.
LA. Sorry, you're in Southern California,
Yeah,
right?
I'm in Apple Valley, California.
Apple Valley. Yeah. So, yeah, and I'm here in Houston, Texas right now. And thank you so much for having this time with us to share this morning. So, can I request you to get to give your background and what you may want to share about being in this industry that we're together.
Yeah, of course. I really enjoy this industry. I started in 2013. I was a real estate investor before that, and a friend of mine that was helping me with that introduced me to this business. And it's a really wonderful business where you're able to help people, protect them with a big company that's going to write big checks in case bad things happen. It's like having a rich uncle that can bail you out. And so I really like it. I'm able to do that and offer, you know, different ways of people can protect themselves financially and also use it that same product for like possibly a retirement program too. So yeah, it's been great.
That sounds really nice. Yeah. So being in this industry for that long, was living benefits really that popular back then when you were starting in the industry?
Well, when we first started, there was a lot less. Well, there's almost 1,000 different insurance companies out there, and only a few were able to were offering living benefits. Maybe a terminal rider or something, which allowed them to say that they had living benefits. Um, but the companies that we're working with have a lot of different triggers that you can use it for. And so it was very easy to do comparisons between what people already have and to show for the same amount of money they could probably get an upgrade with a lot more that they could use in case they need it, which is really it was made it really easy. And as time went on over the last 11 years that I've been in the business, other companies have been adding here and there more and more living benefits. But the companies that we work with are leading the continue to lead in the number of triggers and things that the public can have as a protection for themselves. And the companies that we work with also keep on coming up with new riders, what they call, and new protections. So they keep expanding the what they have to give to the client, to the public, which is really
Yeah.
nice.
And can you say that, right now, most of these life insurance policies that are in force are still in those kinds of life insurance about 10 years ago,
No, they
no
don't.
living benefit.
Well, other insurance companies are slowly adding to try to compete, but they're still far behind. Um, the companies that we work with are very much on the cutting edge and leading the way, so to speak, to provide more benefits to the public. And so it's still, I don't think it's quite competitive yet, which is
Yeah.
good for us because if we have the best product out there, or one of the best, it makes it easier for us to talk to our clients and see if we can upgrade them, give them a better product for about the same amount of money.
Yes. Yes. So yeah, we can talk about that for people to join us, right? And while upgrading their policy, then they can also join us. So going back to your more than a decade of being in the industry, what has struck you the most in all those years that you're part of this industry?
Well,
Some of the highlights that somehow you've been a witness of being
well,
in
in
this industry.
regards to it being a profession, it's a very nice profession. You make your own schedule. You're an independent agent working within the framework of the organization. So you basically run your business within limits. And you get to wake up when you want, you go to bed when you want, you work on whatever days you want. So the schedule is very flexible. So this is great for anybody who likes that, who needs that, going to school. or you have a profession, if you want to work in the evenings, you want to work in the mornings, you want to work at lunchtime, you want to work on the afternoons or on the weekends, that kind of thing makes it very easy. The other thing is because it's not little money. We're talking about a product that you're putting quite a bit of money into, buying protection from a big multi-billion-dollar company. It's amazing that the insurance company pays out in commissions, and it's a pretty big. We're talking anywhere from 500 to 10,000, $20,000. It's quite a huge commission, and it doesn't come out of the client's pocket. It comes out of the insurance company's pocket. So the individual, your client, is not putting money into your pocket. It's coming from the insurance company.
That's,
And so
yeah, that's
and
really
that's an
great.
important concept to understand. And when you're helping people, what we do is we focus on what is the appropriate for the client, coming into understanding what they can afford, and how does it make sense. We allow the client make that decision, and we help them, giving them the information, enough information, so they can make a good decision on how best to proceed if they want to go ahead and get a product.
Yeah, that's true. And we actually have data that it is a $30 trillion industry, right? It's so huge. We're talking about just, helping people upgrade their policy. We're just talking about that, not even the people who don't have the living benefits, the insurance policy with living benefits. It's really a huge market. But what about, on the side of the client, um, you have witnessed people who have was able to get money from their policy.
Yeah, of course. We have a lot of clients that had issues, and with the help of their agent, they put in a claim, is what they call it. And the insurance company does their background checks to make sure it's all legit and everything. And they go talk to their doctors. And I've seen many checks that have been written. I know some friends of mine down in Southern California. They had a check for 244,000 when they had a cancer claim, um, and they actually went back to the Philippines and had it taken care of. And when they came back, they had all this extra money, and the husband was surprised that he had. Well, what am I going to do with all this extra money that they gave me? And so he couldn't believe it, and so they went ahead and bought a Mercedes with the extra money, which was pretty nice, right?
Yeah, that's really true. Yeah, just like what happened to me. I My stage 2 breast cancer gave me, close to $200,000 automatically debited to my bank account. It's really very helpful for people who can actually cash in into their policy. We even have people in our company cashing in $1 million, right? But of course, different cases, so especially with terminal illnesses. But what is really more encouraging is that even early stages of cancer, if it's stage 1, stage 2, can actually already cash in on their policy and make use of that, during that difficult time. Because any way you look at it, cancer is still a devastating news to have. And so, some monetary consideration is somehow eases the blow, because it takes you off some of the stress on your finances, because it will definitely help one navigate that difficult time of cancer. So um so this is not just for cancer, right, Mike? So many illnesses are covered by this the living benefits.
That's
Did
correct.
you encounter any other in your industry, in the industry, or in our company, of other illnesses other than cancer? You may have heard of other people.
Well, I've heard of other ones. Not they weren't any of my clients, but a lot of, because in our business we can build what they call a team, and I've had many team members put in claims for their people, for their clients, everything from a terminal disease, uh, uh, or a lot of different other things that the triggers will cover. Sometimes they would get into a car wreck and they hurt themselves and they need to have money coming in every single month. And so there's a rider that covers that, and that's nice having money coming in from the big company to help pay your bills, right? It's like having a rich uncle that keep sending you money every month, which is
That's
it's
true.
a nice thing to
That's
do.
true. Yeah. So even the cancer and cardiac arrest, which can be, sudden. It's something that people don't plan to have. It suddenly comes out, and some people even suffer, coma and
Yeah.
paralysis. So they can actually, it's part of the living benefits. So maybe the next question is, what if people don't get sick? How can people still make use of their policy if they don't get sick?
Well, that's actually one of the biggest part of it is imagine if you have a 401k plan or the government, well, you can only put so much in, and you're at risk if the market goes down. And I think we all realize that the stock market does go up and it does go down, and you have no protection on the downside, right? Well, if you have one of our these policies, you can have only upside, and it avoids and it doesn't affect you on the downside. And you can use that extra money if nothing happens. You can use supplemental retirement income. That's part of the product that you can activate once you're 60 years old or between 60 and 85. That the company will start sending you money every month, and you can kind of see how much that is, and depending how much you want to put into the product, you can kind of control to a certain extent how much you're going to have in your retirement, and that retirement could last over 100. If you live to 110, they'll still keep paying you. Can you imagine that? It won't
Yeah.
run out, and
Just
it's
like
like
a
a guaranteed.
401k. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 401k with no market risk. No market risk, and it's guaranteed. Oh, by the way, I also forgot, you don't pay taxes on it. So,
Yeah.
how would you like to have, something you could put in money, and when the market goes up, you get the gains, and then if the market goes down, you have no market risk. It won't go down, it only goes up, and you don't pay taxes on it, and it's guaranteed coming to you. Do you have anything like that can do that? Do you have any retirement program that does that? I don't think
No.
so, which
Yeah.
it's
And the
pretty
income is
amazing,
the
right?
income is for life, right, Mike?
Yeah, and it lasts as long as you live, and then
Yeah.
whatever's left over in your policy goes to your loved ones. I mean, it's a win-win-win. So,
That's
that's one of the reasons I love this business is because it's pretty spectacular being able to offer a product to somebody and they could use it, and I think it's better than the government program, personally, and, who wouldn't want that? I mean, so,
yeah.
I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, and most of the people that sometimes I talk to, it's still like a mystery to them. It seems like it's an expense that they want to avoid. Some people would say, "Oh, I'm already paying so many things in my in my budget, and I don't think I can squeeze that in." So, but actually, you're just putting your money in another safe place. You're not letting go of that money and then goodbye forever. It's just putting some of that money in another how do you call it, plan, or look, how do you call it,
Well, it's
uh
it's another way. It's another. You could consider it as another retirement program, except it's a step up. It's better than the government one, and everybody thinks that the government one is the gold standard. Well, what if you had something that's like twice as good? You know, it's like way better than the government program. And so, if you're going to put your money someplace, wouldn't it make sense to put it someplace that's way better than the government program? You know,
yeah.
um, everybody has a choice how they want to do it, and if it makes sense, well, then you should call us.
That's true. Yeah. And because we do personalized service, right, for free for our clients. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
the
we
clients don't pay
customize
us
it.
anything. Yeah,
Yeah, they
and
don't pay
it's
us anything.
and we sit down and we go over everything and we show them and answer all the questions and give them some scenarios to see, well, maybe you do it this way, you could do it that way, however you want to do it, and see if it makes sense. And if it makes sense, then we just help them fill out the application, and we see what happens with the insurance company as they go through underwriting and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Did you want
true.
to talk about anything about the business part of it? Or
Yeah, definitely, because this is not limited to, us now licensed agents, because anybody can just get in, right? That's another beauty. Yes, we can get into that because you can actually be part of this, and even if you are currently on a job, if you're a nurse, a mailman, or works in a restaurant or in retail, you can actually be part of the industry and do this part time, because ultimately what we want to accomplish is to have as many people get this kind of plan in place for themselves, so that number one, in times of tragedy, there is that money that's available to you. And number two, as you say, it's a retirement plan, another retirement plan that you can um, put in place, which we, of course, we can discuss more in detail when we have one-on-one with them. And yeah, but you being in the business, I want you to share more, some success stories of people in your team, and what you do, and what
yeah,
keeps you going being part of
well,
this.
well, what keeps me going is I worked really hard at the beginning of the business. Well, I still do, but we're able to meet other people, other insurance agents, and it's amazing when people, other agents working, and they see the products that we use, and they're just blown away. They can't believe how good it is compared to what they've been selling for the last 10, 20 years. I had um, agents that have been working in the business, insurance business for the last 20, 30, 40 years. And they see our product and they're just couldn't believe it. And they stopped doing what they're doing and they decided to join the team and they're doing great. And they're like, imagine going back to all their friends and family and their clients, and they get to introduce a new product, which is an upgrade to the old stuff that they were doing, and they get to help them get new policies if it works. It doesn't always work out, or maybe they give them a new policy in addition to the old one. It just depends on the scenario, right? We got to be careful about that. And
Yeah,
they can build their own teams. And as we build our teams, um, we're kind of like brokers, but not really brokers, where we get an override, a little override from everybody you bring onto your team. And right now, about uh, well, I have people that join the business. Active agents are between 1 and 200 agents on the team nationwide, and that's the other thing. You can have a team that's nationwide, and like in Houston or in Florida or Illinois or whatever, Chicago. I
you,
mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, as long as you have your, non-resident license there, you can build a big team and you support your team members so they know what to do and how to do it and be correct about it. And they're always compliant. And you do a lot of Zoom meetings and things like that. And you help let them know. That's what I do, is teach other agents from my experience, what's the best way to talk to people and help them make decisions on that and how to build new team members and things like that. And within a year or so, you could make 6-digit income. I think it's a really powerful business that if you work hard and because this is not rocket science. You do work hard, but it's not complicated. You just follow a script or a program that the company has, and you will be successful. It's just numbers. And so
Yeah.
it's an easy thing to do to build a business where you can have a really good life.
Yeah, I totally agree because that's one thing that made me stick to this industry and this business as well because, I'm under a hierarchy of someone really, really successful, and I saw it from the very beginning. I mean, I was just a new member of the organization. I didn't have the intention to do it full time back then. I was just polite to my auntie who invited me, and I said I love my auntie and I'm so thankful to her, and we just signed up, because we got the product, we signed up, and little did I know that I would meet all these amazing people, including you, of course. And yeah, and my we call it upline, right? Because they're the one, we are under their hierarchy, but they don't really command us. They're not our boss. We are still on the same level. It's just that they have started the business ahead of us, and they are managing everyone who signed up under their and she when I met her, she was actually uh earning 100,000 a year at that time. So that was back in I think that was 2020. Yeah, when I met her, and she came here to Houston, and then of course back then she was still based in Austin. So that was in 2021. Fast forward to now, she's earning 100,000 a month, which is so amazing. But for some people, it can be very intimidating. They will tell us, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm really full time. Being a nurse, I work night shift, and I don't have time for that anymore." And one can really start just referring people because you care about the people around you. That's it. You don't really We don't really push you, to build a business that will entirely take all your time, right, Mike? So because you can actually do this, start this part-time and see how it goes. And the main goal really is to share this life insurance policy that has living benefits among the people around you who will definitely benefit from you. Because right now, I can say that I can never thank enough my auntie who got me into this and got myself covered, because she's very instrumental. Without her, I wouldn't have had my own living benefit, claim.
Right.
so, so
I
yeah,
could I add something? I kind of like to say that we're not really managers. We're coaches. We're mentors to others. So we don't technically manage anybody because then everybody is basically can make a decision on what they want to do, and there's no one's going to get fired, right? Unless you do something really bad,
yeah,
and not pay attention to compliance and stuff. But you run your own. You work as hard as you want. There's no quotas or anything. But you look to your uplines to provide trainings, and it's not just us. It's the company itself have their own training website, and there's all these videos from all the different organizations that we work with, and you make your own decision, and you get to pick and choose what trainings that you want, and yeah, I mean, you basically run it, and you just talk to your coach and your mentor and your upline, and ask them questions. How do you go about doing this? And then at the beginning, when you're not sure what to do, you have certain people assigned to you to do all the talking for you, so you can
yeah,
learn. That's a really huge thing. It's like when you say, "Oh, I don't know how to talk to people." Well, you have somebody that'll teach you how to do that. Multiple people. And when you go on an appointment, you have somebody who will go on an appointment with you and do all the talking, and you're just sitting there looking pretty. All right.
yeah,
So, I mean, and then they split commissions 50-50 so that the trainer will actually show up, right? But then you get to, watch and learn, as like an apprentice, right? To learn how to do the business. And eventually you get to talk, and the mentor's there, the coach is there just to back you up in case you need it. And at some point, you get to do it all by yourself when you feel confident enough. It's like this is a great business to get into where it's a six-figure plus business, and
Potentially, yeah.
and you have all these
6 and
people that
7.
yeah, and you don't have to pay them. The whole system is set up where you just get people interested to have an appointment just to learn more, and then away it goes. It's a very nice
Yes,
business where you're always going to all the parties, you're going to all the different places, all those social gatherings, and you're talking to people and being happy and nice and hi, what's your name? Da, 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 da. I mean, what a
yeah.
great business to be in when you're just being happy and you're just talking to people and you try to help them. I love it.
That's really true, Mike. This is very good for people who are really, entrepreneurs who really wants to have their own business, because nobody will actually command you to do anything. It's by your choice. But all the learnings are there, how the other successful agents are doing it. You can follow if you like. I mean, if that's something that you can identify yourself with, right? But it's really you who will decide how you run your business, much like your life. You're the captain of your ship, right?
Right.
But what is important is that there is this platform, there is this way wherein, ultimately, what we want to share is something that will benefit the people around you. Because we just want to, because right now, really, the industry, the 30 trillion industry, is so huge, much bigger than the real estate. Because people need this. It's more like a necessity. I don't know why it's not been mandatory, because where do people go when they get sick? They unfortunately they have this GoFundMe. They of course they ask the assistance of their friends and family to help them. But if you really prepare for yourself, having this plan, then, if certain tragedies happen in your life, like death and all these kinds of illnesses, then you can have this. So so thank you so much, Mike. I hope we can talk about an alternative for people who cannot get life insurance, because, unfortunately, for some people who may want to get the coverage, if they cannot qualify, how can they still prepare for retirement? And sometimes they also get that coverage if they go to nursing homes, right? But we can talk about that in another time. But, I'm really glad we had this, and thank you for sharing with us, Mike, um, your wisdom,
Thank
being
you.
in this industry over a decade.
Yeah, thanks for giving me the opportunity to share that with you.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. Have a nice day. Talk to you again next
All right.
time.